As you probably already know, Microsoft acquired Activision, and I've seen a lot of videos about this, and this is not one of those videos, but I did want to go over it and give my thoughts on it a little bit. But I've seen a lot of videos. Seem like there's a war going on throughout the console sides, and to me, it's not that big a deal, to be honest, because we know Activision or Microsoft is just trying to buy everything, and some people think it's going to save Call of Duty, this and that. And for me, I'm not going to get hyped on this because we are in the modern gaming stage, so you can't trust anything that's happening. Despite it looks good, you still can't trust it because we are in the modern gaming stage, so you can't just trust everything, or get hyped for most of these things, right? So I did see a tweet I wanted to share with you guys. I mean, this question does come up after this big news, right? What will happen to Halo? As you guys already know, Halo, I haven't talked about Halo in so long, but you guys already known from the previous video I've made, and you probably watch other people, that Halo Infinite is not in the best state. Now, I haven't played it in months, and I kind of wanted to go back and check it out again, right? Just to see what is happening. And lo and behold, I'm still hearing the same problems with the game. I did hear that, they added stuff, but I'm still hearing that it doesn't have enough content despite all of these months. I don't know how many months. I don't know if it's been a year yet. It probably has, but I'm still hearing the same complaint about Halo. I'm still hearing that there's no content. I still even heard the progression system is still a problem. But the main problem that's been kept is that there's not enough content. And I think we've all established that ever since they went this live service route, it hasn't been too good. We kind of figured this was coming, especially when they, let out the beta and all, and the release of the game it still was released unfinished. Despite, I did hear that Halo Infinite had around a $500 million budget. $500 million, and it still came out unfinished. Now, mind you, like games like The Last of Us, you would think, have a big budget, had only 200, I think it was 200 million or around 250, right? And mind you, Halo Infinite had 500 and still came out. There are games that are being made for less and are coming out finished than this game. And fellas, it's sad to see, but I do want to share this tweet with you, and I'm not gonna say this tweet is 100% correct, but from all of the evidence I've heard about the game and heard about the staffs, I even heard that some staff got laid off. And mind you, now Activision got bought by Microsoft, and as you know, Call of Duty is pretty popular. And if we all being honest with ourselves, Call of Duty is a lot more popular than Halo now. Halo Infinite is not holding up to Call of Duty standards. I kind of want to check the player count. I did check it before, but the player count as of right now, well, a couple minutes ago, was 3,714. And mind you, it peaked at 256,000. And the 24-hour peak was like 5,856. Now, that's not too much, guys. Remember, it peaked at 250,000 and it lowered so low to 5,000, around 3,000, a couple minutes. Now, those are the, evidence we've gotten. I've even heard that certain staff got laid off. And now, mind you, now Activision got purchased by Microsoft. And now I'm saying this to say this. Main priority will probably be Call of Duty. Now, I'm not saying, Halo's going to die all the way out. I still think they're going to make more Halo down in the future. Now, this tweet says Halo, the next Halo might be the last Halo, but I'm not gonna say that that's true all the way. And now again, I'm not saying this tweet is true, 100% true, but if you do look at the tweet, and look at all of the other things that's been happening with Halo, I'm not saying Halo is going to die 100%, but I will say Halo might not be as popular. And now we have, new talent rolling in, new people they're hiring at 343, right? This is how I'm seeing this. Original Halo players will be thrown out. New players will come in. Now they will cater to these new players. Now, mind you, this is the same thing that happened with Call of Duty, right? They threw out all the old players, despite they bringing out all of these remastered maps, blah, blah, blah. They threw out all the old players, didn't listen to them, didn't really mind them. Because if you think about it, the older players are kind of the minority. Let's be honest, fellas. They are the minorities. We have a lot more people playing games, a lot more normies, and they're rolling in, right? So you have to cater to those normies. So mind you, the same thing's going to happen with Halo Infinite now, or the next Halo, right? So let me just read the tweet, or I will just put the tweet in the screen, right? And you can go ahead and read it. I do want to read the key point that I saw. So it says the next Halo game will be the last Halo game if it doesn't meet its expectation. Now, I don't know if that's 100% true, but I would understand, because if you had a $500 million budget, right, and game came out unfinished, a lot of complaints, not enough content, they probably didn't even make that money back. Mind you, they made the campaign $60 and the multiplayer free. There's probably a lot of people that didn't even purchase the campaign, right? They only, they probably relying on the battle pass to, just like Call of Duty, relying on the battle pass to actually gain money. Mind you, $500 million, game came out unfinished. I did hear a lot of problems what management wise was happening at 343. I did hear people get laid off, or people got, laid off, right? So now, I'm not saying this is the last Halo game. I'm not taking this with 100%, but I will say that Halo is not at the best spot right now. And if I was looking at this as a business, right, because Microsoft is a business, the thing that's not making me that much money, I will put aside and focus on the thing that's making the main money. Like I said, Call of Duty has been more popular than Halo in the past few years. Let's be honest, fellas. I don't care if Halo 5 came out and Halo Infinite everybody was hyped for. Call of Duty has a year-around release. Halo don't have a year-around release. So it makes a lot more money, and it makes a lot more sense for business-wise to focus on Call of Duty or whatever Activision does first before thinking about Halo. Now, that's not a good idea. First of all, even if they would have put all their money towards Halo, 343, we still established that 343 cannot make a good Halo. Maps, look at Halo Infinite. I'm still hearing complaints about the maps. I'm hearing complaints about the content. They finally got into infection mode. I did hear that they got infected as a game mode. Now, mind you, I did go back and play a little bit of Halo Infinite. The big team battle is kind of fun for a while, but it gets repetitive after a while, and you're like, okay, I'm getting off for now. I'm not playing no more. Now, mind you, that's the case. And, Halo Infinite is just not in the best spot, and this is where we're at now. So I would see it as good for Microsoft to focus strictly on the bigger deal, which is Call of Duty or whatever other games Activision make, instead of focusing on Halo. Now I want to read the next part also. It says the Master Chief Collection is dead. Official end of the dev cycle announcement will be made, but there's no date on this. So the last part I don't want to take. I do want to take the first part. The Master Chief Collection is dead. Fellas, that is true. That one we cannot lie about. Yes, we don't have to take the other part of this tweet, but we might have to take that first part that says the MCC Master Chief Collection is dead. Now, I did look at the player count for this also. Mind you, this peaked, all-time peak was 93,000. Now, again, people might go, okay, you can't look at Steam only. That's fine, but geez, man, 93,000 peaked only on Steam. Now, I'm sure the Xbox is not that big a deal either. If somebody show me the Xbox player count right now, I'm sure it's not that big. It's not that many people playing that. I would bet a lot of money on that. Now, mind you, 93% at all-time peak, or 93,000 at all-time peak. In the last 24 hours, 8,452. So let's say 8,000. And if that's not dead, then I don't know what dead is, fellas. That is dead. And man, I mean, this is true. That right there is true. Again, like I said, the last part I don't know, but that right there is true. I do want to read the next part also. It says Halo is now in the worst place it's ever been. And with Microsoft Activision deal, right, it is less important than ever. If 343 Industries' next Halo game is a flop like their past ones, Microsoft is likely to ice the Halo IP temporarily anyway. So again, I'm not gonna say they're going to kill Halo, because there's no way Microsoft would just eliminate Halo all the way. There's no way, right? I'm all for killing it. I know what everybody's thinking. Why would you want to get rid of Halo? I'm all for killing Halo off. I'm all for, or here, how about this? Stop making the campaign. Fine, keep making this multiplayer. Later on, make another Halo, make multiplayer. I say just kill the Master Chief franchise. Kill that. Let that not be the hero no more. Don't make any more campaigns. But I'm all for killing the whole IP entirely. Just stop making Halos. I know what you're thinking. Gibby, don't you want more and more better? They can probably make a better Halo. I don't trust 343 that much. And with all these problems, I don't want another Halo. I just don't want another one. Just stop making it. Stop. Just like they stopped making Crash Bandicoot, even though they made a couple of games, and they stopped making Ratchet and Clank. Just stop. Just kill the franchise, man. Just stop making it. But that's my opinion right there. You let me know what you think though. But like I said, with all the evidence that's been shown, there's no way they will get less budget. They will get less time, probably less people working on it, less resources for sure. I actually believe that can happen. And I'm sure you guys, I want to hear what you guys, think in the comments also. But fellas, it is a sad reality, but it's true though. Halo Infinite, again, like I said, the same amount of complaints over and over and over and over, and I haven't seen any I've seen positive. And again, like I said, even myself, I gave Halo Infinite some positive review. Even in my review, I said a lot of things positive about the game. I even said the multiplayer was fun for the time, but like I said, it did get boring, and I think it might just be a little too late to try to add things and do better, because it's been months after months, and I think the Halo players, Halo community has given up. They probably already moved on by now. I know people are still making videos on it, but from what I've been seeing, not a lot of views, not a lot of people are talking about Halo Infinite, and I think it might just be a little too late for it. So just in case Halo does die by the next game, I do want to make a small little tier list of my favorite Halo game, from worst to best, of course. That does not include the Spartan ones, because I didn't get to play the Spartan ones, but I did play Halo Wars, and that's for sure in the category. But I do want to make a little tier list of my favorite Halo. Halo 5. Oh my gosh. This one I did play a little bit of, and I quit like literally not even halfway mark of this game's life cycle. I quit, man. I remember playing the multiplayer first. Actually, I think I remember playing the multiplayer first. I quit. I didn't even get into it all the way. I remember this was probably the first Halo I've thought, what is this? This is not Halo anymore. I remember there was a sprint, but that's fine, right? Yeah, I guess the previous Halos had a sprint, but I remember this game having an aim down sight. This was when the competitive scene, it got into the competitive scene, and I remember this looking like Call of Duty. I think this is where Halo was just trying to be like Call of Duty so much. But the most thing that pissed me off about this game was the aim down sight. I think I remember being like, why did they even invest? Why did they even try that? Why did they even copy that off of Call of Duty? That's not what Halo's about at all. But I remember even having the sprint and the sliding. I'm like, oh my gosh, they even had the jetpacks. Dude, it went... This was just crazy. Halo 5 was just not it. I don't care what anybody say. Halo 5 was not that good, man. Campaign was super boring. I don't remember really enjoying the campaign. It's not even memorable that much. But Halo, there's not too much to say about Halo 5. It has to be the worst one. Now I know what you're thinking, Gibby. What? Halo Infinite is next after Halo 5? Now again, I'm gonna tell you why I think Halo Infinite is right after 5. Halo Infinite campaign was $60, and then they gave you the multiplayer after. Now mind you, this game didn't come out with the core stuff that Halo had. Split screen, firefight, all of the cool things that Halo, all the game modes that Halo had during its multiplayer cycle. Halo 3 had more game modes at launch than this game had. So we had, we had lack of game modes, lack of content. They went this battle pass route, which pissed me off at the most. I did hear that there was a battle royale incoming the first time I purchased the game. The campaign had an open world. I know they were trying it out. I will say gameplay wise, it was fine. I did like the action-packed gameplay, but it still reminded me of the Call of Duty. Had the grappling hook, it had the sliding, but multiplayer was pretty fast-paced. It was pretty fun. I'll give it that. That's why it's above Halo 5, of course, but Halo 5 didn't set the bar too high anyway. So, but I mean, this open world was not a good idea. I'm gonna be honest. Master Chief, this was Master Chief talked way too much in the campaign. The Cortana we had was desperately trying to be the Halo Combat Evolved Cortana. It was just a modernized Cortana that was just desperately grasping to the old Cortana, trying to bait us into trying to hit us with some nostalgia, but that did not work. Halo 4, the one that started the death of the Halo franchise. Now this Halo 4 is actually, I didn't hate Halo 4 as much as I hated Halo 5. I'm gonna be honest. I really actually enjoyed Halo 4's campaign up to the middle part of it, and then it started getting repetitive and boring to me. To be honest, I know all Halos are just shooting, and going here and shooting, but Halo 4 had just something about it that was, the campaign had something. I don't know if it's the excessive cutscenes. I don't know if it's just the aliens that we're fighting, but man, I remember just not enjoying the campaign after the halfway mark. I don't remember how many hours I was in, but I remember just quitting after the halfway mark. I usually play the campaign split screen with my brother, so I remember us quitting during the halfway mark. Now I remember they also had this new alien race that they had. I really disliked that alien race. I remember they were so annoying. Some of them would respawn each other. There were some that had, I think all of them actually had a part that they had a weakness, right? They had a part of them that had a weakness. You could spray that. Some of them you could spray them for a very long time. They wouldn't die until you hit the right spot. So if you remember playing Halo, you know what I'm talking about. They had like this glowing spot, the little skeleton one, the one that teleport everywhere. Again, they teleport, and then they have some that revive them. It was just brutal. But I would say the campaign was okay for the time. I remember the only thing, if you remember playing Halo 4, the only thing we love Halo 4 for, I'll just put it on the screen, but we all know why we enjoyed Halo 4. The main reason is secretly that reason, but but I will say this is where I remember also Cortana weirdly having a relationship. It seemed like it had like a sexual relationship between him and Master Chief and Cortana. This was the first time this is not the first time I felt that. I did remember feeling weird about the relationship, but I remember Halo Infinite might have been the time where I thought, why are they having a sexual relationship? It felt so weird. I don't know, maybe the Halo show also ruined it for me also. The Halo show just took it a step further, but I remember Halo 4 is where it started being weird. The relationship between Cortana and Master Chief was just very weird. Now, if we're speaking about the multiplayer wasn't too good either. I didn't really play multiplayer. I spent most of my time during the Forge mode. Now, mind you, Halo Infinite didn't have Forge mode, so during launch, Halo 4 actually had Forge mode. I remember messing around in the custom games. We used to make our own maps and stuff. I remember messing around in that. That was pretty fun. I used to play with my neighbor and my brother. We used to play a lot of custom games. I don't remember spending my time too much in the actual public match multiplayer area. Halo 3 ODST. Now, I didn't really play the campaign back when it came out, but I do remember playing the firefight back then, and I will say the firefight was fun. That's what held Halo 3 ODST for me. After that, Halo 3 ODST would actually be in the place where Halo 5 is at, because I don't remember playing Halo 3 ODST that much, to be honest. But I will say again, the firefight is where I spent most of my time in. Campaign was it was okay. Only thing that annoyed me about the campaign is that your screen would turn red, and some part of the game was way too dark, and your screen would turn red when you'll fight enemies, just to signify that you're hurt. But I don't remember enjoying that too hard. But again, I think the story was okay. The campaign was alright. But again, if the firefight was bad, it would have been towards where Halo 5 was. Now, Halo Wars, believe it or not, I actually enjoyed Halo Wars. I did get on there and played it. I actually enjoyed it. I'm surprised, and I think it's because of how different it is, and I think these little 2D games or bird eye view games like this, they can be fun if they're made right. And I will say I did enjoy my time playing it, but after that, I mean, you played for a few hours and that it will be okay. But I didn't remember spending most of my time playing it. It didn't have too much going for it, but I will say it wasn't that bad when I played it. I remember I had a good time playing it. That's all I have to say about that. I don't have too much to say about Halo Wars, but it was okay. Now we're getting into the good Halos. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't really play the other Halo Wars, but the only one I played was the first one. Halo Reach, though. I will say Halo Reach might have the best multiplayer. I'm just gonna say that now. I think I remember having a lot of fun in Halo Reach multiplayer. I think that's what it had going for it. Campaign was actually okay also. I'm not gonna say it's the best, one of the best all-time greats. Not really. It was actually okay. But I remember getting to the end and actually almost shedding a tear. It was actually pretty cool. The ending was actually one of the best endings, I'll say. It was actually okay. I enjoyed that part. I will say the only hard time I had during the campaign was probably that one mission where you had to fly that helicopter. for some reason, me and my brother had a very tough time playing that part. I think it's because we were playing on the hardest difficulty, but I remember that being pretty hard to play. I don't know, I had a hard time in that area, but after that, campaign was good. I enjoyed the ending. But I will say multiplayer is what it had going for it. And I remember this is where they finally introduced Firefight. And I will say, fellas, Firefight was so fun in this. I remember me and my brother spending time after time. This is where split screen was a thing. Time after time playing the Firefight. That was so fun. I remember that being extremely fun. That was pretty cool right there. But after that, Halo Reach did pretty cool here. It was alright. I remember not many people enjoying it back then, but I remember enjoying it when it came out. Yeah, it was something different. It's not gonna lie. That's why most people didn't enjoy it, because it was different. I remember that's where the sprint came about. All these little perks came about. But after that, it was I enjoyed it. Oh, Halo 2. Now I know what you're thinking. Why is Halo 2 not the second most? That's because I actually played a little bit of Halo 2 back then, but I didn't really play it it was until a few years after I finally played the campaign, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is such a good campaign, man. I mean, hello, remember the line?
Contact, unknown classification.
It isn't one of ours. Take it out.
This is Spartan 117.
Can anyone hear me? Over.
Isolate that signal. Master Chief, you mind telling me what you're doing on that ship?
Sir, finishing this fight.
I mean, so many cool lines that happen in Halo 2. I remember just almost creaming my pants a certain part of the campaign just because of how good it was. I mean, the dual wields, very good part of Halo. I would say Halo 2 just did such a good job. Very, very, very good job with the campaign. Arguably the best Halo campaign, but for me, not the best Halo campaign. I mean, you can argue and say it is, but for me, I will say it's not the best Halo campaign, but my god, it was pretty good. Oh yeah, the multiplayer also. I do remember spending a little bit of time on the multiplayer. It was actually okay. It was pretty good. But again, I usually spend my time on custom games. Usually games like that I'll play after. I usually spend my time on custom games. And I will say I did have fun. I enjoyed my time. I mean, God, man, I think we need split screen back for sure. This is why I understand why people got mad, man, when there were no split screen campaign in Halo Infinite. This is why I understand why people got angry, because it was so good. It makes the game. It gives you have another part. You know, it's just a different experience playing split screen. And I remember that during this part, during Halo 2, and I would say, yeah, I did enjoy the multiplayer. This is why it's at number 3. Pretty good multiplayer, pretty good. I mean, legendary campaign. I don't know, I just enjoyed the campaign. I enjoyed campaign a lot. Halo Combat Evolve, my first Halo that I've played. I've told this story a million times, but hey, this Halo, I stumbled upon this game like kind of accidental, but not really. But you know, whatever. I'll give you a brief summary. So I went to this person's house. They were playing Halo. I got into playing it, and I fell in love with that game. I remember playing. This is again where split screen was the time, and I remember playing split screen with a couple of people. And I really remember enjoying that game so much. And I remember when it was on the computer, I enjoyed that game so much. We used to play it at school, believe it or not. We used to put it in a USB. Back then, we downloaded it, we put it in a USB, and then we brought it to school. Everybody got to, you remember they had LAN mode, right? So you got to play it with everybody. God, I had so much fun in that game. It is crazy. The thing is, I think I still haven't got that feeling with Halo Infinite, but my goodness, this game was just way too fun. Campaign was just good. This is where Master Chief started. Oh my gosh, it was just perfect. I enjoyed that game so much. So much fun. Just perfect. Halo 3. My favorite Halo of all time. Halo 3 just did it perfect, man. Multiplayer. Again, like I said, I spent most of my time on the split screen category. I remember playing with a bunch of people. My neighbor, again, like I said, my brothers. Bruh, Halo 3. Halo 3 arguably is the best Halo ever. Campaign, I remember just falling in love with. And it was the end of the trilogy. God, that ending was just perfect. I mean, remember that the Warthog, whatever, that last part where you had to drive the cart to the end. Oh my gosh, it happened in Halo 1 and they brought it back in Halo 3. Just perfect, man. That cart ride was just brutal. I don't think I've ever seen anybody finish that ending on a perfect note. I think every gameplay I've seen, everybody fell off the cart at least one part of one point, right? I've never seen somebody perfectly driven that cart all the way to the end and not mess up one time. I don't know, you guys can tell me down in the comments, but again, this game was just legendary. Multiplayer was good. Campaign was just perfect. I think the thing that kept it going for me had to be the split screen. We had so much fun during this part. It was just crazy. It's crazy to see a game like this in the trilogy. Bungie just did it right, fellas. We just got to keep it real with ourselves. Even if you're a 343 fan, you gotta be honest. Bungie did it right. Bungie kept it perfect, man. Just the way they ended the trilogy was so good. Again, that's gonna be it though, fellas. That's my little tier list for Halo. I will say, I know this video is pretty long, but thank you for watching. Is this actually the end of Halo? Probably. If it is, I'm actually okay with it. I'm not going to, complain and get mad, because I think it's best you end this game. Best you end this franchise. Best you end the franchise. I don't see, even if you continue it, I would love to see a new story. You don't have to continue with Master Chief. We could do something, new. You can try something new. It would be cool to see. But I think Master Chief's, it's just, I don't think Halo Infinite could capture the, or bring back the experience that the older Halos had, just down to the music and some of the choreographer, whatever, some of the parts, some of the action scenes was just, I know I really butchered that word, but some of the action scenes were just good. God knows they were so good that I don't even think Halo Infinite could redo that. And again, like, down to the music and the scenery, some of the cutscenes were just so good. I mean, it is what it is, fellas. You guys let me know what y'all think. It might be the end? Do you think it might be the end of Halo, or has our Halo already ended by Halo 4 for you? Some people, Halo been done by Halo has been over by Halo 4. Some people actually went back to Halo has been over by Halo Reach, but I think the last, nail in the coffin had to be Halo 4, and Halo 5 just killed it. But after that, you guys let me know what y'all think though. Is it the end of Halo, or is it just too late? Can they not redeem it?